Afternoon. Thank you for attending the 48th business meeting of BMANA. I welcome you all for attending this meeting. At this point, I would request if anyone is not a member of BMANA, please leave this room. This is our business meeting, and we should not have any non-member in this meeting. Do we have any non-members here? Raise your hand, please. No. Thank you. So we have 99 attendees in this convention, and we have more than 75 people, members attending this business meeting. So the quorum has been full. So at this time, we can start the business meeting, and I would like to present you the I'm calling you to join me on stage, Interim Secretary Dr. Firdausi Shilpi, Treasurer Dr. Bashir Ahmed. Due to series of events and unconstitutional act of our Secretary, Dr. Fazlul Yusuf, a motion was called in our Executive Committee meeting by me to suspend him, and this was seconded by Scientific and Social Secretary Dr. Mamoon. I now present this motion to pass in this meeting.
I make a motion. I make a move to pass the motion. Second.
Motion passed.
Anybody against?
Anybody against it?
None.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
Let the time. Any discussion?
Yeah, Dr. Riaz, do you want to say something?
Anybody in favor? Anybody against?
Yes.
No, give for time for discussion and then go for few.
Against it, it is passed.
Okay.
Okay, so motion is passed, all right? Now I request,
Ask for yes and no vote. Yes, have to vote.
okay, so, all right, so we want to go yes and no? Okay, fine, that's fine. All right, anyone no? Raise your hand if you are no. Okay, all right, so the motion has been passed, thank you. I would request our acting secretary, Dr. Shilpi, to read the notice of the meeting.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Rahman, and my humble thanks to the general members for allowing me to present the Secretary's report today.
So, sorry, we just wanted to have a moment of silence, for a few moments of silence for those departed in the COVID and from the whole world. And let's start. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Once again, thank you for allowing me to speak up today on behalf of Secretary's report. Every month there was a monthly meeting, and during COVID time there was more than multiple meetings held, and the minutes were duly prepared and filed and circulated among the members. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, in order to pass the last annual general meetings minutes, I would like to add that we, in the last meeting in Michigan in 2019, the committee reaffirmed about the next convention in 2020 in Dallas and 2021 in New York. And there was a proposal for convention in 2022 in California, and followed by Florida, which was not passed, so that was only proposed. So in that context, this was reaffirmed. The decision was made in the New Orleans meeting about the convention. But because of the COVID situation, we had to move forward 1 year of the convention. That's why we're here now. As you know, that this is a global thing, that unprecedented thing in last 100 years. In human history in last 100 years, we did not have such a disaster. Even the Tokyo Olympic was pushed back, forward to 1 year. And they didn't have, executive committee, customarily, we made the decision in annual general meeting about the next convention, but because of this unusual circumstance, we could not have any executive committee meeting and 2020 general meeting, annual general meeting in 2020, and which was pushed forward to Dallas, which we are having now. And I have mentioned it several times, explaining that why we had to do it, because I didn't want to incur a huge financial loss for our organization, for which we had to do this thing. And so I think this explains that, why we are here. And now I'll request our treasurer to give the financial report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I really very happy to see all these familiar faces. I would love to give more detailed information about our treasury, but because of the COVID, we did not have any convention. So our financial income or loss virtually was zero until this convention, because most of our activities and the expenses are related to the annual convention time. So when I took the charge of this treasury, it was September 2019. The election held in July, but due to some other formalities and paperwork issues, it was given during September. So at that time, the BMANA treasury had $457,000. I want you to please note it down. I'll be happy to give you all the information. If you need any specific detail, I'll be happy to provide you that. And the financial statement, all these are not very clear, and I don't know how the culture was before, but from the previous treasurer, all I got, this is the money we have, and this was a report from 2019 Michigan Convention. Though in Michigan Convention, by the record, that was a historical event where we had 300 plus members attended the meeting. We collected and spent the most in BMANA history, but even after that, that convention took a loss. So from that $457,000 I started, and our source of income at the annual membership renewal or new membership or during the convention. Because we didn't have 2020 convention, and we also donated from our BMANA fund and one-time bulk donation of $50,000, and with our usual cost of like accountant and few other registration costs, we were down to around $400,000. But we had a very successful membership renewal time, and with the membership and everything, before this convention, I'm happy to share with you, we started with a fund of $475,000 to $477,000, and I'm expecting that, even with all the limitation and all those obstacles that we had, I'm pretty confident that we will not take any loss from this convention. And thank you all for helping our president and our committee and this convention committee here. And we had many physicians here who will be acknowledged during our gala night, so I don't want to bore you with that. And it is mostly funded by our own physician. And this is a new culture started, and I want everybody to, please thank them during the gala night. And I am not going to take any more time unless you have any specific questions. I have all the information of our main event that we did during the COVID fundraising and the expenses. I have all of them available here. If anyone wants to know any detail, I will be happy to share with you after the meeting. Thank you again. And I'm available for any questions.
Yes, Dr. Basir.
This time, did we get it money from advertisement? Any company, anything?
We will acknowledge our sponsors in our gala night, and we also have their name in our magazine. It is available online, and also we have a short copy, and their names are listed there. Not many company came forward because everybody have funding limitation, and these are suspended. So we didn't have that many. So I would say like 15% money came from the sponsors, the 85% from our own members. And please, really I would appreciate if you thank them whenever you see them, wherever you see them, because without them, this convention would not be happening or successful. Thank you.
Could you-
Excuse me, I have a question. You mentioned about $50,000 donation. Why did you donate?
We had a fundraising committee, and fundraising committees at that time we raised about $67,000 from our own members. At that time, because of the overwhelming need and the request, the executive committee made a decision of adding $50,000 more from the BMNA fund, so we can provide it was still like a drop of water in the ocean, but we try to give at least a sizable stuff that those pandemic heated area needed. So that's why those $50,000 were added. Yes.
As per request of advice of the task force.
And
So in other words, you have given $112,000.
$116,000.
So it should be, that should be your report, not $50,000.
No, $50,000 was the one-time donation from the BMNA fund, but the total distribution was $117,000. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to present you the annual report. After taking office, each secretary started to work in their respected area, and I participated in their meetings as needed. First EC meeting was called in July 2019 to meet and greet. We have started to work on bylaws committees and collected, proposed, and accepted amendments in different annual general meetings. An email was sent to all general members to request any additional proposal to the bylaws. February 2022, Corona epidemic started in China and as pandemic in USA in March 2020. Several of our members were infected. We have lost many, and New York was the epicenter of this. From BMNA, we have started to work towards developing a task force and support our community. And in Bangladesh, COVID-19 task force met regularly and started sending masks and PPE to physicians in different states and different areas of Bangladesh. We have collected funding by donation and from BMNA fund to send oxygen concentrator and high flow oxygen to Bangladesh in different health centers. Scientific seminars were arranged in collaboration with physicians from Bangladesh, UK, and Australia, and exchange ideas and create guidelines for management of COVID in Bangladesh. Our convention for 2020 had to be put off due to state guidelines for gatherings and was cancelled. During this process, we could not change the venue from this hotel to other places and stayed. I have sent you email regarding this and contract as well as email communication from the hotel and ask for transparency. If you'd like to see it again, I can show it to you. If you, okay, here we are after 1 year vaccinated and at this national convention in Dallas. We're all happy and proud to see you here again. Thank you. Now, I would ask Dr. At this time, I will ask a request our Scientific Secretary, Dr. Yusuf Al Mamoon, to present his report. Dr. Mamoon.
Dear respected members of Bangladesh Medical Association of North America, I am MD Yusuf Al Mamoon from New York. Held the position of Scientific and Social Secretary in the Central BMANA Committee from 2019 to 2021. I want to express my deepest sorrow for all friends and colleagues of BMANA that we have lost during the COVID pandemic. As a survivor of COVID myself, I personally know how mentally and physically challenging the last year has been. During this time, I have been instrumental in the BMANA COVID task force and continue to do as much as I can to help people around the world overcome this pandemic. Beginning as early as February 2020, I even arranged a series of webinars that help thousands of viewers in Bangladesh learn more about combating the virus from the words of esteemed healthcare professionals in America and all over the world. I also coordinated the production of a COVID-19 management handbook that was produced by a team of BMANA members. As I continue to participate in this activism, I routinely involve young Bangladeshi physicians to help advance their careers and increase our impact. With their help, we are able to conduct a survey that analyzed the effect of COVID virus pandemic among the Bangladeshi population in America and in Bangladesh, marking one of the first time that a survey was conducted on the health consciousness of Bangladeshis. Throughout the past 2 years, I have dedicated my time in the Central Executive Committee to completing projects such as those mentioned above, which increases BMANA's reputation as an academic organization, increase the health awareness of general Bangladeshi community, and help the Bangladeshi physicians who are trying to start their careers in the USA. The fruits of my effort over the last few years include the acceptance of 2 posters produced by BMANA Research Group with more than 150 physicians and mentors with 5 publications between them into the APHA annual meeting in 2020 and 2021. This was the first time a BMANA research group was accepted into an international mainstream academic conference. Under my supervision, BMANA members were also able to publish the first journal from the BMANA in 2020, and the exchange of scientific information between Bangladeshis all across the world was stronger than ever before. For the first time in any alumni and Bangladesh BMANA history, physicians of Bangladesh origin from USA, Australia, the UK, and Bangladesh collaborated on presenting guidelines for COVID-19 management, book writing, and policy management at the Bangladesh government level. This elaborate combination was initiated as well as maintained by BMANA Central. Improvement in our pursuit of academic excellence can also be demonstrated by our annual convention, which currently include a poster session for young physicians. This year, around 20 posters are being presented during the convention. Under my guidance as a young physician secretary from 2017 to 2019 and as scientific and social secretary from 2019 to 21, hundreds of young physicians were able to enhance their applications through participation in webinars or from one-on-one guidance with established BMNA physicians. I have personally integrated many young physicians into the US healthcare system and have mentored countless who were able to gain clinical rotation through a nationwide integrated observership program. Many have also been able to sharpen their resume and application overall by participating in BMNA research project where they were able to connect with esteemed faculty members from all over USA. In addition to this academic accomplishment, I have also strengthened the unity and social connection with the BMNA community by hosting numerous virtual gatherings during the pandemic. This encouraged many to greet each other over Zoom while enjoying a much needed moment of happiness and unity when we are losing so many of our dear ones to COVID. This event also gave us the perfect opportunity to commemorate and to pray for those that we lost. Other noteworthy events that I organized include meeting for Eid, New Year's, and the 50th anniversary of independence of Bangladesh. These recent events were significant in the way that they help people unite and feel a greater sense of normalcy after being forced to isolate during the pandemic. I also orchestrated the formation of a magazine with testimonies from Nobel freedom fighters in preparation for the 50th anniversary of independence of Bangladesh celebration. These actions helped cement their legacies, educated younger generation about their heroism, and allowed us to pray for those that we lost during the revolution. In this way, BMNA was able to be more connected within itself and to the general population of Bangladesh under my tenure in the executive committee. Thank you. Best regards.
Thank you, Dr. Mamoon, for your excellent service. Now I'll request Dr. Adiba Giti, our Young Physician Secretary, to give a report. Dr. Adiba Giti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everybody. All the members, I'm very lucky to meet you all again after the last election in 2019. That was my first time in a bigger platform in the Central Executive Committee, but my work started long before when I joined the BMNA in my own chapter in Connecticut. And in Connecticut, we have a view that we follow the first few lines of the BMNA Constitution, which is to help and support all the physicians that are of Bangladeshi origin and from Bangladesh to start their career in this country as physicians. Licensed or any other ways in research, MPH, we will help them. So our chapter always followed this rule, and I just started to take that to this bigger event and this bigger platform. So when I took office, it was July of 2019, and the residency session for application cycle of 2020 already started, and all the candidates started to work on their application. So I was like scratching my head, how would I start this? Because I have to meet somewhere, and the resident applicants are all over the place, and I don't have any connections or emails. How do I gather them? So I send out a general email to all of you, probably you got within few days of the election, that I need everybody's help. Because without your help, do you have any candidates who can come? Do you have anybody who are in academic medicine who can help these persons to give them any rotations or papers, so their application is stronger? When I started my journey, I know these were very important, and I could not find anybody to give me a letter even. My letters were mostly from my MPH advisors in Bangladesh. I did not have anything from here because I didn't know where to start. So that's why you probably got my first email. I need help means I need all of your guidance, input, and the candidates who are going to apply. However, with help of Dr. Yusuf Al Mamoon, I used his office in Jamaica, and that's where I met about 20 person, and that's where my journey began in July of 2019. Dr. Walid Chaudhry, our previous president, Dr. Zia, Dr. Asif Iqbal, Dr. Tasbir, Dr. Mamun, Dr. Shilpi, Dr. Morshed, countless people actually came that day to begin that journey. And I got to meet the candidates of that time, and they spread the word actually. Then I started to get emails, and that year I met so many people, and we did not have time. So I had to distribute my work to among all of you mentors who agreed to volunteer that time. All of you helped them to create their resume and go through their personal statement, and you know how it is difficult to correct our own personal statements. So I thank you all mentors who gave that time. Dr. Salma, Dr. Hafiz, Dr. Riaz, everybody from FAR took one. Dr. Atik is not here today. Everybody took one, candidates and wrote their and corrected their resume and everything. That year, they applied. Then we started working on interview preparation. It was one-to-one because a lot of people were shy in the meetings to speak up. So it when happened in the Mamun Bhai's office, there are three rooms. So we used to take one candidate, 3 attendings, and practice with them in the mirror. That's how we worked with them. Even I don't want to say details, but their makeup, dress, everything we talked about. And that was my I loved those work to work with them. And that year, after a few months in February, COVID started. So their interview was in person, so they had to travel, and a lot of cost involved, and we could not help that way. So I would request that BMNA should think, and with all general members' input, that when time comes that candidates are suffering for monetary issues, they are unable to travel, please try to think about a fund separated from the original BMNA fund, so we can provide them with reimbursement for their tickets or lodging. That would be very helpful for them. We had to connect them with members so that they can stay at their houses before interview. So that was very important for us. And then, so that year actually, it was a great success. I don't have the top of the Norman, and I don't want to take any credit, but it was all of you and New York chapter young physician, Dr. Yusuf Al-Mamun, Dr. Fazlul Yusuf runs the YP forum there. Then later on, Borishal Medical College alumni started their programs. All of you all together actually have the success. So that time actually, to my knowledge, 60 people from that group got residency in 2020. Then COVID hit us. So that was a new experience, because when COVID came, we didn't know what's going to happen. So everybody, the candidates, they started to dig information that if somebody did not give step 2 CS, which is the clinical part of it, how would they come? How would they interview? How would they get ECFMG certification? So these were all circulated, but the most difficult part was interviewing over Zoom. We don't know anything. Even our own fellowship programs were very, stunned that how we will run this interview process. So a lot of innovative, young physicians who were in the residency, they came and they invented how the Zoom background should look like. They gave lectures how to interview, how to look at the computer screen, because you are looking at the screen but the camera is on the top. So small details of innovations came along the way. And the young physician who started residency, they came forward. And in between that, I had a residency boot camp, and a lot of you who are here helped to have a residency boot camp. It was 2 months long. Every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we had 5 to 6 hours of educational, input on residency, research, how to talk, how to present case, how to, reinterpret EKG, emergency cases. So these were all delivered to them before the next cycle started. So after the next cycle started, we went over the same things as I told you, but this time Zoom preparation and interview processes started. And we actually had more successes with more input with Borishal Alumni Association, Young Physician Group section from New York chapter, and ours. Altogether boosted so many applicants, and also more than 70 then got into the residency program this year for 2021 NAP cycle. So this is all credit goes to the BMNA platform. Because of this platform, everybody knows all of you. They look into the webinars, they look into the emails, and they get all this information. This was one of my dream and in my manifesto last year, and I did not do much. I just asked your help, and all of you members helped me and guided me and connected these mentors. So we have a couple of things. We have this young physician advisory group to give the lectures on how to apply, how to interview, how to practice those. Then we have a group of people in the background who then arranges observership. So with COVID, it was limited, but a lot of people who has private practices had the luxury to bring in some people, even for once or twice a week, to see their practice and then give them letters. So if you all have private practices, we are still during COVID. If you just reach out to any of us and give these young physicians who are out there applying this year, who are presenting, they also need clinical rotations. Some needs inpatient, some needs private practice. So if you give them rotations and letters, that really boosts their morals. And some of them are at the beginning stage out there who's going to talk to us how to apply. And other thing I wanted to do was, all of you have kids, amazing kids who are already in med school or already physician practicing. I wanted to connect this second generation, and they are very willing to help, but they don't know what to do. So if you all connect them together, that will be very helpful for the physicians for Bangladeshi origin to know how to talk, how to get into research projects, how to interview, and how to find programs. So that I would really request your help. And the last thing I promised last time was going to Bangladesh, different med school, to give lectures, and I know a lot of you do that. We have a separate organization, Planetary Academy of Health or Health Academy. They also are doing involving physicians and fellows in Bangladesh. But similarly, if we can do and connect all of these people, and with Bangladesh, they are so receptive now. So if you all get involved in this, then that will be giving them more ideas how to come here. Directly, we cannot tell them that, okay, give you $1 million, come here. That's not ethical. So indirectly, if somebody is interested, we can guide them. So I know I spoke a lot, but this is what I try to do, and hopefully next person who comes will continue this, because at the level we are at now, with the BMNA research ambition group with more than 200 members there, led by Dr. Salma, Dr. Suhaila Khan, Dr. Nakib. They are just giving their extra time there with our group that helps the residents to get residency or interview, or to just begin their journey here. I would really continue to ask your help and really guide us how we can keep it sustainable and maintain this way and take it to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you. There's a question.
One more thing is, we have a poster session outside, and this is the first time, as Dr. Mamun said. I would encourage you to go and talk to them, because they really work hard, and we will continue this way.
I have just a
Yes.
comment. Thank you for the great work. I think as an organization, it is very difficult to give plane tickets. But what we can do, you can ask for sponsors, that we have 10 candidates who need support, and there are people who will be willing to pay their plane fare. And I'm sure there are a lot of us who will be willing to do that as individuals.
Thank you. Excellent proposal. I just want to add one quick thing. The poster presenter who are here, they all been sponsored for their stay and their meals and all those taken care of by the BMNA.
Thank you, Dr. Adiba Gipi, for your excellent work. We really appreciate you have taken the BMNA to different horizons. Let's applause for her again. All right. I also would like to thank Dr. Fazlul Yusuf. He has done tremendous work in New York with his team for the young physicians, and I would like to thank Dr. Mahmood Alam Tuku for his excellent, outstanding work. And Dr. Alam, can you stand up? And Dr. Tazveer from Nevada has done an outstanding work with his team. And many of you, I did not mention the name, directly or indirectly helped out this young generation to come to the mainstream medical field of United States and Canada. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. At this point, I will ask our chapters to give their report, and it will be very brief, I promise you. And first, I will ask Alabama chapter to give their report. Dr. Jamal.
Alabama is a small chapter. I don't know that when somebody is going to take over. I wish they take over tomorrow. But unfortunately, like Ohio and some other chapters that we know for last 20 years, we have same senior still representing BMANA. So even though I am Alabama chapter president still, I told my past president who put me in this position, I begged him that please take it. But he doesn't want to make a meeting because he thought maybe if there is a meeting, I will take myself off. So anyway, wish me my good luck for that. Now, even though traditionally that our president mentioned that we do accordingly that BMNA president, BMNA secretary, BMNA treasurer give the report, but I like to take that opportunity for in front of all of our senior and our BMNA members to take few minutes if you allow me. You all know that for 8 years ago when we saw that BMNA had only few members, few means less than 200 members, and we all went to California, excellent convention, and before that I myself didn't know that how many actually physicians BMNA has. So our past president, Dr. Rafiq Ahmed was there, excellent gentleman. He taught us so many things, and I come to know that actually that's what we have. So anyway, today BMNA has 1,000 members, and that did not happen over time, and that credit doesn't go to me, Dr. Jiabai, Bashir, or anybody. It's all of you willing to come to BMNA. Why? Because you decided that this is the time we need to join. For last 8 years, there was not thousands of BMNA members or doctors came from Bangladesh. They were here, but they did not join the BMNA because they thought maybe this is the wasting of time because we Bangladeshi, you know that what we like to do all the time. So all of your hard work and willingness to tell your friend BMNA is today's 1,000 members. Obviously, I like to get some credit from myself and my past president who has worked with me all the time for many years, Dr. Riyad Chaudhary. We did work just not for us, we did it for BMNA, along with all the present and the past president. I am grateful to all of you for your contribution to BMNA. All of our seniors, our founders who started this process 40 years ago. So this is the BMNA that we founded, and this is the BMNA today. Now, I know that all of you already listened excellent presentation from our scientific secretary, Dr. Yusuf Al Mamun. Tremendous hard work, he did it with this limitation of pandemic. And so I like to give thanks to our president that despite all these difficulties, you did as much you could, and I appreciate your work. I like to thank our secretary, Dr. Fazlul Yusuf, who also contributed, as Dr. Adiba Giti mentioned, that for the young physician and the New York, whatever his capacity was. Some may like it, some may not, but he did as much he could. I appreciate his work. I appreciate our treasurer, you know, Bashir, that I myself was begging him to come to the BMNA because I know he had a potential, but finally he came. So I'm proud of that, and I think he did a tremendous good work. Then our scientific secretary, as you all know already, Yusuf Al Mamun, that scientific secretary position, you know that it was not, there was a controversy many years ago that either he is a voter, not voter, all of this. But after all of this, I think he did a tremendous good job, and I appreciate that. Our young physician once, I know that it's all of you know that it's history, but I like to mention that there was a time that young physician was like a name of the position, but nobody knows that what is the function. So there was a time that somebody was just going to be the residency was that position. Then somebody was in residency on that position. Then all of a sudden, obviously, the interest came because a lot of doctors came from Bangladesh, did not get any platform. Nobody helped them. Nobody helped me. Nobody helped you. But we wanted to help them. So here comes that our young physician secretary came, full attending physician. Dr. Isabel Mamun came, and he did everything he could. Then our next, this year, that we have that is another level. Our Adibagiti talented physicians that I know, she came. Despite all of these odds, I think you all already know from her, she did excellent work with the limitation because BMANA Central is a virtual committee. We don't have anything. We have everything, but we don't have anything. So if you call me, it's my telephone only. I don't have anything else. Same thing our president. So she did very good job. At the same time, you all know that New York started YPCAP, and they started many years ago, 8 years ago, and there is a mature program going on, and all of you are already aware of it. I'm not going to go there. And Giti, with her other friends, obviously I have to be proud of her for one other reason, that she is from Dhaka Medical College. She's a batch K 46. Because of her relation with other members in New York, she did very good work to make that something for BMANA Central, which was never done before. So I appreciate your work. Then we had three members. You know Dr. Ferdowsi Shilpi. She is also from New York. She did her best to cooperate and do everything she can. Dr. Mujibur Rahman Mazumdar, our seniors, he did also as much he could. Morshed, he also did as much he could. So in general, as a president-elect, I'm proud of our team. I think everybody did their best. So I like to thank all of you from my side. So now, I wanted to say one thing, that during pandemic, hundreds of physicians died here. We don't know what to do. We had no idea. So we thought maybe, okay, we'll do, maybe it will be few months. But no, it becomes the whole year that we suffered. And our physicians, all of a sudden, we know that more than 50 physicians all of a sudden sick, including our president. So that happened also in New York, and we lost few physicians there. Our friends in across the world, Bangladesh, England, or different places, they died. So to leave their memory with us forever, I like to request all of us that I wanted to give the tribute or that honor for our all lost heroes that who died during their work and during service to the humanity, all the physicians of Bangladeshi origin and other community. I like to honor them, and I will request all of you that this business meeting of BMANA, we like to give 1 minute silence for them.
We already observed.
So you already did before I came. I appreciate that. So now I wanted to say a few words about something else. As your incoming president, I wanted to acknowledge, like all of you, that we have a problem in BMANA. We had a problem 40 years ago. We had a problem today. Some problem we overcome. You did whatever you could. Today we have a different problem. We wanted to keep as much we can to keep the BMANA united. This is not the job of the president. This is not the job of a past president or one person. I would beg and request that all of you in your position try hard to see that if we can stand together, do everything together to keep us together so that we can have the good relation and terms for each other. Whatever position we have today, this is past. We wanted to see that if we can live together and make some contribution for our newcomers. Thank you.
I just want to add one quick thing after Dr. Jamaluddin. I'm sorry to interrupt for the meeting flow. We want to stay united. but we always took our decision with our emotion. So please, this is a mature organization. This organization has more than 1,000 members now. We have a constitution. Please, my request to all of you, follow the constitution. It explains, it says everything. If we do it, then these mistakes, this confusion, this chaos will never be repeated. You have the constitution, follow the constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We'll try to be brief. Now I request California. I think Secretary of California is here, Dr. Salma.
President couldn't make it, so I came with my wonderful EC members, Dr. Ruby Hosenpa, our future president from next year. So Dr. Tuli Kubir, our treasurer, and she is EC member. Dr. Mahmuda Alam, she is our EC member, and then she's a candidate also. Please vote for her. And Dr. Rabi Alam. Dr. Rabi Alam is there. He is the golden person in our, He makes us happy all the time when we are in distress. And here is I'd like to thank my husband.
Yes, of course.
Who is he? Can we see? President, and he did very wonderful job as a, he's a tech savvy. Well, you will be surprised that being a doctor, how he knows all the technical things, and I'm very proud of him. And here I am, I am taking care of BMANA chapter with all our, with the help of EC members. They donate. We did so much work in COVID season. We sent high flow nasal cannula to different universities with being a small, not small, relatively small compared to New York. We did a wonderful job with that. We sent 10,000 face, a high, K95 mask, and then we also did this Ramadan with the help of Dr. Rabi Alam, because he's a social person. So he knows all the poor people in the LA area, So we helped about 35 families throughout the Ramadan. We bought groceries for whole Ramadan month and for Eid, for 35 families. And I thank all the EC members who donate money. Whenever we ask, I just sit 1 hour on the phone, text who is donating, and then they all donate. So wonderful people, and we hope to have you in 2023 for election. Convention, we welcome you. California chapter is very organized. We're proud to say that. And you will really love to have another convention in 2023.
Wow.
And Carolina chapter is a small but very close-knit community. And of course, during the pandemic, just like all of you, we didn't do our annual conventions or other activities, but we were very active online. That helped us to stay in touch with each other and support each other. We needed that support because we lost our Carolina chapter president, Dr. Taslim Parag, early in pandemic. So that was he was our active president. So that was a tough thing for all of us, and we got united together, and that helped us. We raised $206,000 for his young family, and we paid the mortgages, and rest of the money was given to the family. So that helped. We not only as a member of the state, we reached out to all of you, and we got money from everywhere, and especially SOMC, he was from Sylhet Medical, and they also donated a big contribution. We did some fundraising with around $6,000 for the flood in Bangladesh in 2019, $11,000 to the Central BMANA Fund for the COVID, and also we did $9,000 for that 2020 flood in Bangladesh. So that's what we try to do. And this year, hopefully, we will start our annual convention and the Members' Day. We usually do 2 events every year. And as you said, that getting together, that helped us stay strong and go through this tough time. And that bothers us also, that in this pandemic time, especially we as a physicians group, we went through such a hard time. We do want to stick together, and we can. And it's so important that we support each other and we see the good in everybody. And God help us.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Connecticut chapter.
Assalamu alaikum shabake, Mahfuz Haq from Connecticut and well wish from the Nutmeg State. I have Shaukat Bhai here and many of the members, Atik, and so with respect to the founders and my predecessors and welcoming the new members, I'm here to report the state of Connecticut BMNA, and we are financially stable. Atik has taken the helm of the financial, and we are thriving actually. We are thriving with our new membership, and it's all 3 generations that you see. We have the new Bangladeshi members. We have Bangladeshi born who are brought up here, as well as we have the 2nd generation Bangladeshi. All are coming as the new members in our chapter. So that's something we are really, really proud, because if we can't give them the stable platform, they will not join. So that's one of our pride moment. We have 5 new residents in the state who are coming, and we welcome them. During the COVID, we had lots of activity, and Bashir Bhai just told me to make it short. So in summary, we were very involved with both the physician community in Bangladesh, over here in America, state of Connecticut. More so, I think it's important to mention that we were involved in Bangladeshi community through the BAC, and we were involved in all different branch, pulmonary, psychiatry, critical care. We provided consultancy. We opened the telephone line, and we were on 24/7 for answering any question. We have our executive director, Hafsa Imam. I just want to thank her personally, because she took this position and she really established a new culture in our organization. And we collected about 3,000 pieces of Dr. Scholl's that we donated to Yale New Haven Health System, and they were very appreciative because of Bangladesh Medical Association Connecticut chapter giving it to them. So, and then all the nurses and all the physicians, they used it and they still use it. There was a hospital which was closing. It was a 100-bed hospital. We took all their instrument. We were about to send it to Bangladesh, but that never happened. We partnered up with the Rotary Club and sent it to Uganda in a small village. It's called Biwandi. They opened there about 50-bed new hospital with 5 or 4-bed ICU facilities, and all we supplied their instrument. So, and the last we have a new committee. It's a very peaceful transition with Dr. Gopal Sharkar. Many of you know him well. So he's our new president, incoming president. Go ahead. Oh yes, that's something. Yes, Hafsa is very involved in the TVN 24 and different TV media. So she took the organization to different forums as well. Thank you.
Thank you for the chapters.
Can I add something, please? I'm really humbly acknowledge the activities of Dr. Mahfuzullah Giti and their team. The tremendous work they did during the COVID situation, during the COVID time in Connecticut and in America, around the world, is commendable, really. But most importantly, what I think right now, sitting here, that few years ago, when I myself was very frustrated with the situation of the organization, Dr. Mahfouz came up and showed, when we're thinking of actually closing, or not closing actually, combining with the Massachusetts chapter and other ways, because we didn't have a member, and he challenged me, and he told me that, Shaukat bhai, just give me time, and we'll see we can reorganize this chapter. And he did that. I'm really appreciative of you.
Thank you, Secretary.
Thank you, everybody. We have so many things to talk about each chapter, but because of the time, I'll request that if you can make it shorter, because we have other business, important business to conduct. Now I request Florida chapter, please.
And I'm the president of BMANA Florida. And I'm really humbled and honored to be over here and meet with you guys. I am accompanied with my several of my EC team members. I would like to ask them to stand up. Dr. Mahmoud Rahman, he is the president-elect. Dr. Motar Hossain Munnu, Munnu bhai is not here. He is our secretary. Dr. Mohammad Zaman, he is also here. And we are almost 40 members, not 40 members including family is attending in this convention. BMANA Florida is an independent professional organization of Bangladeshi doctors and dentists, and it is a non-profit organization. It is not a chapter of Central BMANA. It is an independent organization. And we would like to give you our report out. BMANA Florida organized during the pandemic. We organized with our local community leaders BMANA Florida COVID-19 hotline, and that serves a 24/7 physician service to the local communities. The local community members, they can call and talk to live physicians over the phone and get support from them. And we also did let me wear my glass. So during this pandemic, BMANA Florida organized its largest fundraising, and in collaboration with the Central BMANA, we helped Bangladeshi hospitals obtaining PPI and high-flow oxygen. During this pandemic, BMANA Florida launched Must Drive for its members, all the members, and also for local communities. We distributed in all over the Florida. You know, Florida is not a small state, it's a bigger state, and we did organize in a small pocket in different communities the Must Drive. We had our first virtual annual meeting, and we did have an annual meeting during 2020. It was a virtual, and the cultural program, we did it in December 2020. And we'll have our annual convention later this year, and I would like to invite all of you guys come over here and enjoy Florida weather. On behalf of BMANA Florida members, I urge BMANA Central leadership work together to dissolve any disagreement and make a prosperous and stronger BMANA. Together, we will continue preserving the strengths that exist and using that strength to forge new alliances to address and withstand the challenges of the future. I do really mean that one, and we do really appreciate your support regarding this one. Thank you.
When we did the Florida chapter constitution, the constitution was written as is an independent organization, but it is also included in there that they will partner with the Central BMANA on the mutually affiliated program. And I believe most of the chapters, they run by that. Like, and I know for a fact, like Carolina chapter, they have their own constitution, and this is an independent organization. But they do come here every year. So like us.
That's the truth.
I mean, yeah.
If you look at all the chapters, they're all independent.
Yes, yes.
Because these are
Autonomous body.
autonomous body. Right. And we work together with the center. So I am a central member, at the same time I am my chapter member also.
I think the wording has to be very clear here. They are not independent, but they are autonomous.
They are autonomous.
There are two different, excuse me, there are two different meaning of the wordings. You are a chapter, you have your own constitution, but you believe in
The greater
mission,
cause,
mission
yeah.
and mission of the BMA. That's how we are.
That's why they are here, and they were here last year. They will be here next year as well.
But they are not a central member?
No.
All chapter registered in the state independently.
Yeah.
Now,
So this is not.
Dr. Jamal.
Okay. I wanted to mention that what I know. It's not for Florida or New York or Carolina. That's what we talk about for the last few years. Chapters, they register themselves sometime individually, not to mention that they are chapter. At the same time, some chapter, they mention it that they are actually part of the central. So we have both sides correct on that theory. But question we have is that we talked about before also. We did not have any mutual memorandum of understanding. The chapter has to say, or agreement, the chapter has to say that yes, we are the member, we are the chapter of central, and we are abide by the central rules. At the some of the limitation of the autonomy, but at the same time, central has to say that yes, we recognize this is a chapter, and they have their own set of rules, but there are some loose bonding we have. So that's why confusion. I think both sides is correct.
Come on. Thank you. Anyone from Georgia?
No.
Georgia, no. Okay, Louisiana?
Dear members, thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about my chapter. I'm accompanied by Dr. Amzad from New Orleans, and okay, he's there. So we can join here with you in this convention.
Stand up.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to say a brief about our chapter. It was established in 2011 with a small group of people, and Dr. Basit Khan was initiated the chapter at that time. So at first, we have a very few physicians, and then it grew, and most probably we have 25 to 30 members in that small community. And we used to organize not every year, probably every other years, right? A small convention in either in New Orleans and Baton Rouge or anywhere in Louisiana. And we try to involve the community people in those conventions. We used to, set up a booth to measure the blood pressure, sugar, and giving small tips to the community people. And they enjoyed and they loved to, participate in that. And also we try to arrange a small scientific sessions, inviting some good speakers from different hospitals to deliver interesting topics which are very palliative to the common people, like about stroke, blood pressure, fibromyalgia, which is very common to all of us. And the community people were so interested, and they really participated with us. And then at the end, we also try to arrange a very good cultural programs. We invited Rotindranath, right? We invited Tapun Chaudhary, we invited Kadri Kibriya, right? So they came, and really we did a very good job at that time. Not only that, our chapter is also supporting 2 projects in Bangladesh, which are run by few young physicians. One is BRIC, Bangladesh Relief Initiation for Community in Khulna. It's a water crisis project. We are supporting that project. We are giving them advice, and we also raise some fund and give them 17 tanks, water tanks. Also, we are supporting a telemedicine project in a village in Russia. We are giving the advice for hypertension and diabetes for 90 people now. So these are also we support during the pandemic with the mask, and we had a hurricane during pandemic, if you heard, in Lake Charles. So we also raised some fund and gave to them. So we did it up to 2017. And then in 2018, there was a convention, BMANA convention in New Orleans, but unfortunately there was a disagreement between us and the Central BMANA, and we could not participate in that. We LA chapter could not participate in that convention. And since then, actually, our chapter is losing that unity, you know. We lose the members, they become disinterested about our chapters, and I don't know, and the pandemic started. We are trying our best to reunite our chapters, but still we are struggling. So that's why I'm here to seek the advice and support to all your members and Central BMA to help the Louisiana chapter to go back where we were. Thank you very much. Sorry, it was
My name is Ghulam Mustafa Kanchon, and I'm the General Secretary of Mid-Atlantic Conference. Mid-Atlantic is kind of big map. It's the fourth state here, comprises like Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and part of Pennsylvania. I'm representing, actually, Dr. Ahmed Khan is not here today. Unfortunately, he is unable to come. And our also president-elect is not here. I'm very proud of this General Secretary of our conference. Still today, we follow our everything from by the direction of our Dr. Rafiq Ahmed, our boss here. And every meeting he represents us. We get a lot of advice from him. We're very proud for that. So second thing is here we did a lot of things like you guys did every conference. One of the important things we did during very hard time when the COVID-19 hit all over the country, especially when heating up like on from April. That time we started, all of the conference members started to get how we can help the community member of, in our conference area, especially Washington, D.C. and Baltimore area. And we did food bank, and we just raised a lot of money out there and donate in our Bangladesh community, especially Baltimore and Washington, D.C. The second thing we did, with the help of the physician, including me, telecommunication, telemedicine doctor, especially on COVID-19, helping and advise them throughout the whole year. I don't like to continue, to take a long time here. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
As all of you, we have arranged special sessions for our own community. We have sent money to Bangladesh, to Barden, to Mansingh Medical College, to buy PPEs at a very peak time. One other very important event that happened in Nevada is that under the leadership of Chaudhry Hafizul Hassan, of course, that we tried to pursue current administration to get more vaccine from Bangladesh. Number one, first, this administration had arranged 100,000, and then as of 3 days ago, 25 million. We actually met current Nevada senator a few days ago in Hafiz Bhai and Shelley's house and tried to pursue the current administration to allow Bangladeshi companies to produce mRNA vaccine in Bangladesh. And we are still talking to the administration about that, and thank you very much.
I'd like to inform you that there are a lot of physicians in New York, and we have a lot of activities. And the Young Physicians Program, you know all of these things. Dr. Yusuf, Dr. Mamun, all other doing all of these activities together. But you don't know probably other activities we are doing. That is that many of our physicians, we are focusing that yes, people has to go for residency. We are trying our best to accommodate, interview, all other activities to help the young physicians. And for that reason, we establish one education center, is a library at New York. So there is a lot of research activity and open and discussion, seminar, research, all of things is happening on that center. And as a member of New York, there's a lot of activity there. So I like to tell you that those physicians, those are in the category of USMLE program, but those physicians is not on the USMLE program. We have their activity also. So those, unfortunately, they are the physicians from Bangladesh, but they are not on the USMLE track program. They are not on the USMLE track program, non-USMLE program, but they are the physicians from Bangladesh. So we are trying to accommodate different way that what we can do. Like we sit down some of the pharmaceuticals company, and one of them is Dr. Murad Bhai, and other physician, Ryan Sadi. So we talk to them, and we try to provide those physicians from Bangladesh, physicians, to join as a clinical scientist or clinical physicians over there at the different pharmaceuticals company. So we good news that we got one job, somebody, and Murad Bhai was helping to get the job. And this one way. Other one is we are opening a school for the non-licensing physicians, so that Giovanni also knows that we are opening a school on that library. And we also, for the phlebotomy and the EKG technician, all of those need to survive rather than working in the McDonald's on other places. Other thing is, we providing those physicians that they pass the USMLE, they have the certificate, but not on the third, step 3, it doesn't matter. If anybody passed step 3 and got the certificate, but due to some reason, but maybe 10 years, 20 years, they could not get the residency. So we are providing, we have a program, we're providing the temporary license. They got the DE number, they got the NPI number, and we provided so for 12 physicians, and they got the license and NPI number, and they are getting good money. They did a good job. But out of 12, 8 got the residency already. And because it's a continuous process, they got the clinical experience. Then we call the program director, even we don't know the program director, that okay, this program, he works 1 year, 2 years, 3 years as a licensing physician under the supervision of non-licensing physician with limited permit under the supervision of licensing physician. So, like one example, one day we called Dr. Fisher, and the candidate was Chiang and they got a residency. So we are trying a lot of activity, and we will have a fundraising dinner for our USMLE Center, the library, and we will let you know the activities. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming to Texas. We are in Texas and Dallas. Thank you. Texas is a brand new chapter. We just founded in Texas 2019, December. And I would like to thank for Central Committee to give us opportunity to host this meeting. And again, with all these difficulties and everything, so you guys came here and honored us to host this convention. Last 2 years, we did several things, but one significant thing is we opened a phone line 24/7 during the COVID time. We helped 1,200 people during COVID situation, how to handle, and by giving some advices. And we donate some money, and we sponsor something in a personal level. So this is from now on for Texas, and thank you again for coming.
I now ask you to, I'm presenting the bylaws. We presented the bylaws committee proposal, one from the bylaws committee proposal, and we had another proposal from 10 members, Dr. Mustafa San included among the members 3 months ago, and I would submit a request to send all the forms for the vote, and I would like to get the yes and no vote for in favor of the bylaws committee proposal or the 10 members proposal. Please cast your vote and it will be counted.
Usually in the business meeting, like, we bring the proposal and we take the vote, yes or no, and, we can raise our hands. And this was suggested, don't take me wrong, I'm just the messenger. This was suggested by the attorney because, we already went 4 times to the court for simple, like, where we do the convention. So this is a major thing. We want to keep a paper trail that, yes, these are the live members who were in the meeting and they say yes or against. And the proposal, these are not mutually exclusive. So, like, if you are saying that, if you do both yes, both against, it doesn't matter. That you speak for your mind. This will be the next committee when they sit down and finalize the amendment and all those things. They will get back to you and they will let you know, like, what changing or amendment are being implemented. We already circulated this amendment 90 days before, which is a requirement by our constitution. All of you got this in email, and we had a printed copy there. If anyone who does not remember, who does not have access, these were there for your convenience. You feel?
Which of these things were promoted by the committee that
It is written here, the amendment to the bylaws proposed by the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. That was the proposal 1. And the proposal 2 were proposed by 10 members.
All right.
So these are all written here. And this was not drafted by us. This was done by an attorney.
All right. Can I just make
I
a
hope
suggestion?
like they know what they're doing.
Sorry. Can I interrupt? One of our members from the bylaws committee, Dr. Nazmul Khan, is here. Can I just ask you to give the extract of the thing?
I have to take it over because we wrote an extensive bylaws that was never implemented because one party went to court and prevented that to be circulated. And we had that fiasco going on for last few years. Constitution was never amended or accepted. Last year before last year, as a matter of fact, just before COVID, this current committee has implemented another bylaws committee chaired by Covid Chaudhary from Florida. I was one of the members. I wish he was here. He should be the person to talk. Since nobody is here, I am just taking the privilege. We were appointed as per Constitution by the executive committee to suggest any kind of amendment. That's the only way Constitution allows. At the same time, somebody asked if 10 persons can ask for any amendment. Yes, 10%. As of today, as of this Constitution, only 10 members can write to the EC, ask request for amendment to be presented to the general body in the next meeting. As Dr. Ziauddin Ahmed Sadek was saying, that it has to be done 1 year prior. But bylaws committee that is been appointed by the executive committee, once it is submitted to the executive committee has to submit to the general body 90 days before this general meeting. That's what they have done in the emails. They have sent all these bylaws that was proposed by us to be amended. They have sent to you. Most of you most likely don't remember, even I don't remember. What we did in that bylaws, just to be brief, we have picked a few things. We had some questionable membership criteria. Some people were taking that, how come this person is this member, that person is that member. We have written it very clear way. We have 3 categories of membership. We still have it, but we have elaborated it, we have explained it. We have given full membership to a group of people, and all other doctors have their own class of membership and voting criteria also, that everybody is not a voter even if they are member. So those were explained in those bylaws. And there are some other nitty-gritty, but basically the number one proposal that came to this ballot today was about the membership criteria mainly. That was explained in these bylaws. We have a constitution already, and we felt most of the constitution was pretty well written, not well explained. Maybe next committee can go and write another explanation on it. But we have discussed everything for months and came up with the proposal. We 5 members bylaws subcommittee thought, not subcommittee, I mean appointed committee thought that this is the way to go, and that's what we did. Now second proposal is 10 members wrote their own bylaws. That was never sanctioned by EC. It was never approved by EC, but they just proposed a constitution. So you have to realize that is only proposal of 10 people. That was never really appointed by a group of, by this executive committee, and EC, I think, circulated that also. They have given it to them also. That's why that came in the proposal. So first one was really done by the committee that was appointed by the EC.
To defend us. The vote will be now called in by the president, and you will just say yes or no by raising your hand.
Yes.
That's the way the business will be done.
Okay, can you raise your hand, those who favor it?
Please keep the hand raised so we can count. Can somebody count the hands, please? Please, President, please assign somebody to count.
Okay.
Are you raising your hand?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Can you count it, because you can see everybody from here. Bashir, I hope you have a good...
No, but count the hands.
So we have 58 people.
Take a
who
picture.
raised hands.
Take a picture also, or to have a trail.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. এখন কি 10 members?
Can I ask somebody to make the motion?
Please.
Okay. Now can I ask for someone?
Abstain. No. You must count the number of people raised hand, number of people present in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Because in any meeting,
We have 61 people here, we counted. 61
no,
people.
but how many present last?
61 people. Right.
So anybody
58 you
against?
said, right? Against Poland.
Okay. I want you to bring someone to bring a motion. The against it.
Anybody against the motion?
Anybody is against?
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyone is against the motion? This motion for the bylaws? Can you raise your hand?
No.
So no one understand if somebody other abstain.
One person.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Yes or no?
One person. Noted. Noted.
Put the abstain.
So one abstain.
No, anybody else?
Anybody else abstaining? Okay, 2.
Two abstaining.
2 abstain.
Okay, second proposal.
Okay, now the
Second motion.
proposals 2 from 10 members. Can someone bring a motion for a second proposal?
Motion on this.
Okay. All right, so you bring the motion. The motion is the second proposal by 10 members.
To the bylaws that as proposed by the 10 members. Okay, so the motion brought in by Tahmina Begum. Who is seconding it? Okay, Dr. Basit Khan is seconding it.
Can you clarify what motion you're proposing? For the record, please.
The proposition number 2. I don't think anybody is bringing motion here or seconding it. So anybody supporting the second amendment?
So
The
there was
proposition
no,
number 2.
Mr. Treasurer, so it means there was no motion made in favor of second proposal. That should be recorded in the minutes.
Right.
So is there a motion? No. There is no motion.
All right. Okay. All right, thank you. So the bylaws committee's proposal for the bylaws of the New York, for the BMANA is passed.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay? Now, I would like to announce our next annual convention. As to push forward 1 year for our convention, for which we are here in Dallas now. So, New York convention could not happen this year, so New York convention will be in 2022. Okay? Again, somebody bring a motion for that.
Okay, so you are proposing for a convention in New York next year.
Okay?
Okay, well,
Okay? So,
after that,
we'll discuss it.
2019, we had a proposal from California for 2022 and Florida supported it. At the same time, 23, Florida proposed it and we all supported it. So is it California withdraw it or?
No. Yeah, can I answer Jamal's question? Yes, yes. No, California did not withdraw because we pushed the convention for the COVID. 2020, we did not have any convention. So we pushed forward one. It's a domino effect, one to other. So the Tokyo Olympic was pushed for 1 year. And BMANA convention was pushed from 2020 to 21. So now 21 convention happened in Dallas. 22, next was convention was supposed to be in New York. So we decided, somebody brought a motion. So anyone as for New York chapter convention in 2022?
Yeah.
Who is in favor?
Yes.
Who is against it? Who is against New York convention? All right, how many against?
Everybody supported.
Okay, so everybody. All right, so next is California, 2023.
2023.
23 in California. Anyone wants to bring a proposal for California?
I'm making a motion in California.
Yes.
Who is seconding it?
Oh, Robi Bhai.
Robi is seconding it.
Robi Bhai is seconding it.
A lot of people second it. Okay, now I'm going to raise your hand in favor.
Okay, please raise your hand in favor for California in 2023. 2023 in California. কি ওর হাজি নাই তো
23 up for California now.
All right. Who is against California?
Yeah.
California chapter যদি accept করে geographically আমার মনের ভিতরে ঠিক আছে যে লেক তাহতে করা যায় geography একরকম
Is anyone from California to
Or
accept
perhaps
it?
San Diego.
Is anyone from California to accept it?
Yay!
All right. Lake Tahoe is an excellent proposal. If you can do it, I think we finished our business.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
As we have discussed in 2019, I think we should do it because we are pushing everyone forward. And in 2019, it was proposed Florida to be next to California. So can we bring a motion today that 2024 will be in Florida? Okay. Okay.
শিশু স্বাস্থ্য উন্নয়ন সংস্থা. What we should have done, that there should be fundraising right on the spot. Whoever joined want to donate something. So what we can do today when we have the in the evening, so we can announce whoever wants to donate some money, they can give live on the spot, write a check to this organization. So that's one suggestion. Then second thing that we have, like a central versus local. Central, it should be like a federal government rules, like every state is a part of federal, and the state has a separate rules for everyone. So our local has to be like a same way, they can have individual, but they have to adopt the BMANA central constitution. So that should be the way we can have the relationship. Now my last suggestion, somehow we all know that there is some dispute within ourselves, like we are divided, half is here, somebody is doing another convention in New York. We should not allow that, because we are all one organization and there should be only one panel, not two panels. Somehow, my proposal, I mean it's like everybody's proposal that we need to meet with both sides and how to work together. That should be the ultimate goal. And there should be no panel like this group versus that group. And if anybody who tries to divide our organization, there should be some kind of a penalty, or we cannot allow this to happen in future.
I want to make a comment to what Malik was saying. That we members elected you 2 years ago, and we are not involved with day-to-day affairs, and we entrust you in your judgment. Likewise, when you make a judgment, it is my obligation to follow your recommendations. So what we are why I am here today, I did not go to BMANA meeting last 2 years. Why I am here today? Because my EC asked me to come. And I felt there is a crisis. What the crisis is, we have to be very, very clear. Executive committee, by majority, made a decision to form an election commission. At the same time, without any reservation, I have to say, Secretary decided to start a parallel election committee in New York. He may not like the decision of the EC, he can vote against it, but he must follow the democratic process. And I appreciate President Jamal being here. I think a lot of grievance against him, but I really appreciate his presence. I think that's what democracy is all about. I have known Jamal for many, many years. He would come to every meeting and he would talk about the nation. And I think he passionately feels about it, and I hope that Dr. Jamaluddin will today make a move to follow the organization, what the EC has decided, and follow these ECs.
I really appreciate what Dr. Altavik said. Absolutely, we are right that we're all for unity, not to divide. And we'll work for it, to how to unite. But as we said, Dr. Rafiq Ahmed said that we have been entrusted by the general members to follow the constitution and run the organization by the constitution. I have tried my best to follow the constitution, and accordingly we are conducting the election, and whoever will be elected today, they will rule for next 2 years. And after that, if you cannot, if we don't try, or if you don't like their award, top them out. Top them out. There's no reason for them, and we will bring some new members, and then we'll follow the new leaders. All right. So this is democracy, and we all have to respect that. And I will request all our members, those who are, I would not say derailed or anything, thinks differently or trying to do different. I'm not criticizing them what they're doing. Please come and embrace the whole organization, and we'll work again for 2023. We'll fight, see who wins.
All of you have every right to decide and think how you want to think. But there's 10 of us who are currently in the committee who have been voted. We made pledge to our members. We have to explain ourselves that what you want to do, how you want to do. It's the question of integrity, it's the question of ethics, and it's the question of our responsibility towards the Constitution. That's what I would re-emphasize, that the organization has been running with passion and lots of passion from every side. We love everybody. I have a lot of good things to say about the people who are not in this room today, but especially being from New York. But when I'm in the table and I have to make the decision, I have to read the Constitution and I have to go by it. I cannot go by what my Boro Bhai said. And that's what I Resolution is a very treacherous path right now. You know, everybody has to come down and open their heart and embrace it. That's what I can say.
And follow the
Thank you.
Constitution.
I think, yeah, I think what Tariq mentioned, there's the gestures of sitting, because the people have different kind of grievances. So I don't think it's not a bad idea, but obviously the committee is going to make a decision. The membership is make a decision, but we always have to sit down and talk.
As I said, we always have time to discuss. I'm not saying it's a closed event. Absolutely, it's completely open.
Absolutely.
And I thank you everybody. With this, I adjourn the business meeting of